Well, this game helped me figure out a lot about myself, I must say. Like how I am not a masochist. This game got so painful to deal with, it made me change the formula of my videos. I did not have an ounce of satisfaction whilst playing this game. Even running people over, which happens to be one of my favorite pastimes, became a trivial task. I would rather be tied to a chair and forced to watch Morbius on repeat for hours than play this game. Let's jump into it. After a very poorly put together opening that I'm sure my 3-year-old nephew could do with Microsoft Paint, I was thrown into an incredibly long loading screen. And then... one day. Day 1. The game was beautiful. It was open. It was filled with such life and color. After exploring the environment for a second, I jumped into the tutorial, which is about as helpful as a green stop sign. The first problem you run into is the actual lack of info in the tutorial itself. The first step is to mark refueling in your phone navigator. Refueling. Not mark gas station, it says mark refueling. After an embarrassing amount of time I'd rather not disclose, I solved it. And then you don't even use the phone for navigation, the location magically appears in front of your eyes. But then, I got to meet one of my favorite celebrities. Is that Ringo from the Beatles? Ringo, I'm like your biggest fan. I warned him of events to come, for him and his bandmates. He gave me an empty, knowing look. I suspect he had something to do with it. After that, I got to experience a simulator inside of a simulator. Walking like a cripple who had just got hit by a car simulator. You walk and sprint slower than an episode of Friends in this game. It's not a good show, you can't change my mind. After hours, I finally found it. The refuel station. And then, my next objective was to find my car. Can I pick any one of these? That's not my car. No, that's not my car. That's not it there. That's not it, Chief, though. I bet that's my car, isn't it? Is it? Oh, it's my car. After getting my beater with the heater, I experienced a level of sensitivity only known by blue-haired girls at a Bernie Sanders rally. Then I found the first of many bugs. After driving for a second, I pulled up my phone to find the post office, which happened to be my next objective, and my game just decided it was going to stop working. Once you pull the phone out in the car, it stays out, permanently. The seatbelt is too tight for you to fit it back into your pocket. After wrecking due to distracted driving, I got out of my car to find that I have, yet again, broken the game. I was stuck. And when I pressed the directional pads, the car would move, but I would not. I watched my car enviously for a few seconds, feeling nothing but jealousy. I longed to move again. I gave the game a few minutes to realize that I was no longer in the car, and after it figured that out, I regained control of my bodily functions. I was so excited to feel my legs again. Unfortunately, it was overshadowed by the insurmountable rage and disappointment that was this game, because I had, yet again, encountered another bug. Yes, within 5 minutes of gameplay, I encountered 3 game-changing bugs. I was supposed to go to the post office, but I wasn't worried. I figured out how to use the app. We were all good, right? Well, I was wrong, because guess what? The navigation app completely stopped working. The rage I felt was so intense it caused me to do reckless things, like unsubscribe to PewDiePie. After messing around a bit, I figured out a solution. I would go into the navigation app, click on the location I wanted to go to, click hide destination, then click show destination, and it would work. This game is turning out to be a true masterpiece, one that people will talk about for decades. After discovering a few disappointing driving mechanics, watch this, Tokyo Drift. Oh no, am I stuck? I was just super happy to be on my way to the post office. I finally arrive and vigorously run to the doors, more excited than a dog at Pillowland to see what parcels I got in the mail, only to be disappointed once again. The post office was closed, and I spent hours wasting time for it to open again, because the game has failed to introduce me to a time-passing mechanic. I cruised around town committing crimes, and wasting gas, And then I ended up discovering that cars in this game are made out of concrete. And then you guessed it, drove around in my car a little more. I stopped by a park, and then I discovered a mechanic I never thought I would use in this game. I have nothing. It's dark, I know exactly what to do. Don't worry, guys. Boom. And then I found a new pastime. Look at this. Look at his walk. Ooh. Oh my gosh, get it. Yeah. Who walks like that? And your hips. Looks like they're disconnected. You okay, buddy? Oh, you look like a Ron. I bet your name's Ron. Ugh. It's this gas station. Hit me. I then found out that I was a steel pillar of a person. Lucy do, Lucy. Ooh. I am basically a god. I stopped this car with my chest. Did you see that, Ron? Ron had brain damage. He was walking without a destination in mind. He was a lot like me. I admired Ron. I also noticed something about Ron's animation that was off. So he's stepping, but he's actually like gliding. Like you can tell that somebody just added a walking animation, but like very poorly because he's just gliding. Look, step, glide, step, glide, step, glide. He's wearing Heelys. Are you wearing Heelys, Ron? That's sick. After that escapade, I figured the post office would have to be open. After crashing into it, I found that it was still, guess what, closed. That's when I spotted her, an innocent woman enjoying the beautiful day and going for a brisk walk. A sinister thought popped into my mind. She was in the middle of the road. This story writes itself. She was a pin and I was a bowling ball. I hopped into my car and floored it in her general direction, and to my dismay, she was Superman. I made a direct hit and it didn't even faze her. So I put my car into reverse and I was gonna hit her again. I floored it in her direction and bam! She was down. She was out. She was dead. I was filled with a satisfaction that I cannot even begin to describe. I stared at her body and I did a victory pose. I turned away from her because, I had won. I got back in my car, and when I turned back, she was gone. A chill went down my spine. I knew she was out there, and I knew she was angry, and I had a feeling that I had brought upon my own reckoning. After clearing that thought from my mind, the post office opened up. But before heading that way, my vehicle was in desperate need of fuel. It was at this point that I realized my car was a sentient being, and it was being very uncooperative. Getting gas into this living vessel was the hardest thing I have done since being forced to wear deodorant at an anime convention. I ended up having to use the Get Gas thing on the app, paying almost $200 for a full tank of gas. So far, almost none of the mechanics introduced in this game actually function properly, unless this is an art piece that's supposed to make you frustrated like the Soul series. In that case, this game is brilliant. After selling my kidney to afford the gas, I went over to the post office. Well, more like crashed into the post office. Then I got stuck. The car could sense my anger and decided to give me some space. It was 2 seconds away from death, so that was a good call. I finally complete my first objective in about 20 minutes. I then find out the packages waiting for me are my living essentials. How that bed fit into that box, I'll never know. And then an overwhelming sense of the munchies came over me, and despite them being a perfectly working vending machine in the post office, I decided to go to the shops, where I was faced with my first dilemma. Food shop 1 or food shop 2? We all know I'm going with food shop 2. Food shop 1 is okay, but like their customer service, like we both know, just isn't that good. Like we all know that. After setting my destination, I make my way over there praying the store was open. And it was. And the shop was amazing. You want to see everything they sell? Here it is. Hello, you look like a real human being. Let's see what you got today. Oh my gosh, are those chips? 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 Sunflower seeds? Ritz crackers? I was really hoping for like a bag of chips, but it seems like I've come to the wrong place. Now, I couldn't actually buy anything since my inventory was filled for my last objective. But, all was good. I decided just to walk around and browse a little bit more, enjoying the smell and the general atmosphere of the store. I then decided that I should probably warn the lady about the maniac driving around running over random women. I told her about it, I warned her about it, I told her about what car was driving around and what they say the suspect looks like. I knew there was nothing she could do about it. Her fate was intertwined with the hood of my car, and I was excited for her to meet her demise. After leaving the store, I found out that I own an apartment, which makes sense since I have all the furnishing ones in my backpack. I just hope it's not some back alley garb, and that's exactly what it is. I get out of my car, realized I was being followed, and realized it was a lady from the store. She must have figured out that I was threatening her. I had to take care of her before she did anything reckless. After that nasty business, I walked around a little bit, explored, checked out my neighbors' houses, which were very nice, kind of smelly. I peeked in on my neighbor Susan, and then I got inside and was pleasantly surprised. I really love the marble walls. Like, the walls are made out of marble. This is really nice. And this room, oh my gosh, it's four-dimensional. I love it so much. It's so good. Let's see here. Let's turn the light. I like how the light switch is on the outside of the room. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so happy about that. Then I got to do something that I spent a lot of time on: interior decorating. The way you put furniture down is so annoying. You have to open your backpack, drag the item, and place it into a certain box with a hand on it. Then you have to wait for it to load. And you have to do this individually for every item. I admittedly almost enjoyed this part though, only because my interior design taste is on a godly level. You know what? I've got just the best idea ever. I'm gonna pick this up. Now, I'm gonna put... Second. This is gonna be good. All my guests are gonna love this. All of my guests. Boom. That way I can have an audience. Like, I'm on the toilet, use. Am I actually going to the bathroom? I need pee. Like, I need it? Or, like, I need to pee, or do I need pee? After placing the bed, I finally found a mechanic that lets you skip time, which would have been helpful earlier. My current objective is to set up my PC, which I can't do right now because there was too many stuff to put into my inventory at the post office and I wasn't able to grab the keyboard, which means I get to drive all the way back to the post office. I ran into a screen that said this. Something interesting? I hope by something interesting you mean some game mechanics, like actual real game mechanics. I got distracted, stopped by the store, and spent $240 on alcohol, and then stared into the attendant's eyes as I downed every last bit of it. My body was a vehicle, and alcohol was my fuel. After I watched the will to live drain from the woman's eyes, I drunkenly walked to the post office and came up with this little ditty. Walking home in the middle of the night, drinking booze and singing all about it in sight. I can't see very well, 'cause it's not. Walking home in the middle of the night, singing British songs, killing my liver, and driving over people and children. I get to the post office and grab the keyboard. Yes! Finally I get to the heart and soul of this game. Actual freelancing. I get stuck again, hook up my keyboard, I set it up, and I go all the way back to my apartment, and this happens. It was not letting me use the computer. So, I set the computer up on a desk. Still, it wouldn't let me use it. I set a chair in front of the desk. Still, it would not let me use the computer. It was continuing to fail. I go ahead and restart the game. I load back to where I start before I get the keyboard, open my backpack because the keyboard's not there, and I have 2 tables in my inventory and a desk, and the keyboard is just gone. Now, this renders the game unplayable because I need the keyboard to progress in the game. So, what do I do now? I walk around frustrated for a little bit, looking around anywhere. Maybe my keyboard was gone. I mean, I don't know. I had 2 tables in my inventory that came from nowhere. I don't know if 2 tables combined makes a keyboard. I doubt it, but who knows with this game. So I kind of just wandered around aimlessly for a second, checking my backpack out of disbelief. I mean, I was upset. There was nothing to do with this game. I exited it. I quit. I mean, this game was over with. This game was so frustrating. It required me to change the format of my videos because, well, usually I'm a walkthrough channel. I don't do these type of videos. But if you guys like these videos, please let me know. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and if you want me to do something else like this, please let me know. I am starting out, this was new to me, so I know this is going to be a little rough around the edges, but I do edit everything myself, and this was an hour and a half long video that I had to edit down. So thank you, bye bye.